after the lunch. This panel discussion also is going to be equally interesting, and we request you all to kindly keep your eyes and your ears open. The topic or the theme for this session is skilling. We need to develop the skills to upskill ourselves every time to be relatable and relevant in this industry. And the topic for today is ahead of the algorithm, winning in a rapidly digital world. As digital technologies evolve at unprecedented speed, organizations face the challenge of staying competitive while navigating constant change. This session will explore how businesses and institutions can move ahead of the algorithm by embracing agility, data-driven decision-making, and human-centric innovation. To lead this session, I request our moderator to kindly join us on stage, Mr. Deepender Bhattacharya. A round of applause for him as he walks to the stage, please. He is the country head, education at Nemtech Group. Nemtech Group, yes, sir. He is a senior leader with extensive experience in building strategic relationship across Asia with governments and technical education institutions. He led the exponential 10x growth of Autodesk, India's education revenue, for over 5 years. He has deep, extensive in the technical education ecosystem across India and Asia. He served on the advisory board of American University, Dubai, and the Academic Council of NTTF, Bangalore. Namaskar, sir. Swagat hai aapka. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He is the moderator of the session. You can be seated, sir. Sure. Joining our panel today is Mr. Sisal Sundar. He is a senior technology executive and director of cloud and AI at Microsoft. Please give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. With over 25 years of experience in technology, leadership, and digital transformation. At Microsoft, he leads AI and cloud solution strategy for US manufacturing customers. He also supports large global enterprises across sectors including media, energy, healthcare, retail, and financial services. Welcome to the panel, sir. We would also like to welcome Mr. Rex Yesudas. He is the head Edge Computing Industrial AI LTI Mindtree. Welcome, sir. He is a technology and an engineering leader working at the intersection of AI, robotics, and cyber-physical systems. His journey spans the evolution from data analytics to Industry 4.0 to embedded systems, edge AI, and industrial AI. He focuses on building technology, engineering practices, and enabling organizations in their digital transformation by designing intelligent and autonomous system that tightly integrates with software, hardware, and physical processes. Welcome to the team, sir. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. May I also invite Mr. Devkant Agarwal, Regional Head, IBM India. He is a senior leader at IBM India with over 2.5 decades of experience supporting government-led IT, digital skilling, and technology adaptation initiatives. Over the last 20 years, he has worked closely with central and state governments, state skill development agencies, and public universities to implement large-scale programs aligned with Digital India, Skill India, and Smart Cities mission. Welcome to the panel, sir. Last but not the least, our panelist on the stage is Mr. Dinesh Arjun, the co-founder and CEO of Rapti EV. Please put your hands together for the gentleman who's walking to the stage. He is a visionary leader driving the next revolution in sustainable transportation. He possesses a deep-rooted passion for engineering excellence and innovation. His career includes a pivotal stint at Tesla in program management. Driven by the mission to transform the Indian two-wheeler industry, Mr. Dinesh pioneered in the development of India's first high-voltage electric motorcycles. Please put your hands together. Welcome to the panel, sir. So the moderator is over to you. Please take it forward from here.
Thank you to the host for making that nice introduction and setting the stage for today's panel discussion. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. We need more energy in the room. Okay. So first of all, it's an honor and privilege to moderate this panel along with my esteemed panelists here who are from technology giants like, Microsoft, IBM, and then we have L&T Mindtree, and then the co-founder of Rap TV. So the topic is, the theme is on skilling, and the topic is ahead of the algorithm, winning rapidly in a digital world. So just a few comments. The way we will structure this discussion, I think I've been told by the organizers I have 50 minutes, or we have 50 minutes. So I'll spend a couple of minutes in giving my thoughts on this topic, very, very relevant topic. And then I will request all the panelists to give their short and brief opening remarks. And then I'll have a few pointed questions to each of the panelists. And then I wish to open the floor to the august audience here for about 10 minutes, and then we will do a conclusion and a wrap up. I think we should be able to cover this in about 50 minutes. Does this work for all the panelists? Okay. Also I want to also acknowledge the government of Tamil Nadu, including our Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation. Few gentlemen are sitting here for having put together this panel in Umagine. So warm round of applause to the team of TNSDC led by Mr. Sharif and the team. So if you really look at this topic, I think the word skilling is very, very familiar within the industry and within the academia ecosystem. However, having said that, relating to this theme, there are a few key things that I would like to talk about, or basically talk about highlighting. The first thing which I would like to highlight is this entire concept of adoption of digital transformation within the industry as such. Be it the manufacturing industry, or be it the construction industry, or be it the IT industry. I think digital transformation, the need to adopt digital transformation is very, very critical because it has got far-reaching implications. The other thing is this adaptability bit. The adaptability is basically the need to adapt to the changing, changing scenarios. What I may say so is because the job roles are changing today, there are newer and newer job roles that are coming into the market. So I think it's important for us to adapt to the new changing job roles, new changing environments, new technologies that need to be adopted in both in the education and in the academia and in the industry. The third thing which I would like to quickly highlight is this, we talk about effective implementation of AI as a technology. I think it is very important for the effective use of technology. And also we have to keep in mind that technology should not supersede the human intelligence, okay? That's what I mean by the ahead of the algorithm. So we must not allow technology to supersede, but technology should be an enabler. Technology must aid us in whatever phase. It could be in the design phase, or it could be in any other phase. Technology should be an enabler. And the last thing which I also wanted to touch upon is this, this human skills, okay? So while technology adoption and technology is critical and important, I think we must keep a close watch on emotion, empathy, and some of the other human skills, the creative skills, okay, which are also very relevant in this changing world today. So I think I just wanted to put this theme so that my esteemed panelists can, I'm sure they will touch upon on each one of, on few of the areas or on all of the areas. but I just want to touch base on that. With this, I would hand over the dais or the microphone to maybe, let me start off with maybe Cecil to give his views and thoughts and perspectives on this, I would say, very, very relevant and pertinent topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start with an understanding of what is skill. The idea of skill has changed forever. It's a paradigm shift that's happening in the industry, in the institution, from the way how we think about skilling itself. Intelligence has become a commodity. So you have to start understanding what are we skilling. What is that we are trying to skill in terms of, is it towards a career path? Is it towards an entrepreneurship? Is it what are we going to skill ourselves with? Because what had happened in the last couple of years, last 5 years, any kind of intelligence you talk about, whether it is Shakespeare or Einstein or anything in terms of medical research, it's all available in your fingertips. So the idea of coding has forever changed. There's nothing you need to code right now. So text to action is what we talk about. You think, you ideate, you give a prompt to a model, it generates the code at the top 8th or 10th percentile of the world, of the best coders in the world. So earlier we used to think C++, Python, all these languages as some kind of skills. Right? You really have to understand as people who are aspiring for career and growth and a future in this world, the idea is what are you going to skill yourself with? I think the first thought that comes to my mind is skilling is domain. Technology will be no-brainer, right? Coding will be no-brainer. You can just build your website. Probably earlier it used to take a couple of months, now it is in hours. So you guys have to really take this away and see, am I skilled in the domain that I am passionate about? I'm interested in. If it's a biotechnology, you got to be highly skilled in the domain. That's why the foundations of these domains will never change. Marketing has its own domain, right? Whether it's talking about segmenting, targeting, positioning, or you're talking about conjoint analysis, or you think about anything, the idea of that domain, the skills that is related to the domain is going to be so paramount. If you are a biology student, then you have to think about drug research. Those are the skills that is going to help you use the technology and create some kind of future and opportunity. Again, keep in mind, I'll probably will have more things to answer. Keep in mind, the aspiration is the need of getting skilled. Your dream, your aspiration, your passion is the foundation of getting skilled in any area, because everything is readily available. Is as good as you having the best of the professors from MIT, Harvard, Wharton, Yale is available to you. You can read anything and it can simplify and you can code. If you can read, if you can learn, if you can simplify, if you can code, what are we talking about in terms of differentiator? The only differentiator is how passionate you are in your domain. So again, domain is not engineering. It can be accounting, it can be biotech, it can be any area. For me, the future is going to be dramatically changing. You will see Indian services sector talking about upskilling. We are going to talk about how fast we can skill in the AI era. There's going to be a lot of conversations, a lot of panic, also a lot of opportunities. So think domain first, think about skilling in the domain, leverage technology, as Dipankar was mentioning, as an enabler. And when these technologies are available to you at your fingertips, use the domain to create a market opportunity. We'll talk about entrepreneurship later, but that's my initial thought when I want to open it that way. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Cecil. I think you spoke about two very important things. One is aspiration, and the other is the domain. So I'll come back to you on both this subsequently. I would now request maybe just to remove the monotony. I think let's dive into with Mr. Dinesh. I think who is in a different segment altogether. I would say different league altogether. I never knew that we don't have commercial electric motorcycles commercially available. With this, over to you, Dinesh.
No, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for, it's an honor to be part of this panel. I'm an odd one out in a way. We have L&D, IBM, and Microsoft. So I represent a completely different, you know, different set of companies or different set of an example itself. So I'm Dinesh. I represent an electric motorcycle company. We're based out of Chennai. We're about an 8-year-old company. In fact, our factory is about 3 streets away. I think the point of view that I'd like to bring in, interestingly, is we're the ones kind of using some of the tools that the digital age is kind of bringing in. And interestingly, we have about 150 people in our company with an average age of about 24. We don't know the traditional ways of doing work, right? So, and we don't have any legacy or any, you know, if I may, elderly people to kind of guide us the way to kind of do things a certain way. Like I was telling you the other day, my team comes back to me and says, and I'm probably the oldest in the company, and people come back to me and I ask them, why can't you put this project plan in an Excel sheet? And somebody comes to me, you can make project plans in an Excel sheet. I didn't even know that you can do that, right? So that's how I think we're already working on, or rather we're coming from a very digital native perspective. But again, on the other side, you have problems like what kind of tools do you now choose, and whether is everybody in the company aligned to the preference that one specific team has. So we've got a very whole new host of problems by being digital native. But one of the reasons that we exist, again, more from not from a Gyan point of view, but from how it's helped, if I may put in a few points. We being a startup based out of Chennai, we've not always had the best amount of capital at our disposal, time has not always been in our hands. But the only thing that's kind of really helped us get here is because with 140 people, how can you do work that a traditional OEM does with possibly 10x the number of people? And that's really helped us, one, survive, because without survival, I don't think I'll be able to innovate, and then kind of innovate and bring a product onto the road. We take pride in the fact that we've come here at a fraction of capital as some of our peers, but that's largely because let's say, starting from just testing, we started, digital twins were the way that we knew how to do, product design at all. Whereas, traditional companies would try to use digital twins as possibly one of the methods that you use, one of the methods that you do testing. So that's kind of how we've approached the problem statement in itself, and we've come this far. But happy to kind of dive deeper as we progress and share my opinions. Thanks.
Thanks, Dinesh. Thanks, Dinesh. So I'll come back to you on few of the some of the points that you mentioned. So let us now move to I would say, yeah, I won't say different sector. It's the manufacturing sector with Rex to give his thoughts. Would you like to play the video?
Yeah.
So here's an interesting video which I said you should play it.
Yes, as an icebreaker, we should start with it, right? We
Yes.
have the OEMs or the technology partners. We have the consumers as Dinesh. So let's see the video. This is just to share where the digital is moving, right? If we can play that.
How long is the video?
2 minutes.
Okay.
It's a 2-minute video. Just
It doesn't have audio.
audio is there? Audio
There's
should
no
be.
audio there.
Audio is there. So anyway, while this is happening, it's
Maybe we can
yeah,
play it
okay.
in the end.
Yeah, we can play it in the end
Yeah.
also. So this is about the digital twin, what Dinesh was talking about, what they are doing it. And then how the CAD coming together, the 3D models, AI, agentic AI. I'm just giving some jargons, agentic AI, autonomous manufacturing, factory of the future, right? A lot of things which we see today about it. And this is about that for one of the customers which we do, or we have done it, okay? Now, why I'm trying to show you all these things is about, we talked about skills, and that's the background about it, right? The theme. So we see that a lot of organization which has come from last 4 or 5 years have been got an adaptive with the new technologies era which has come in, because a lot of technologies are available. But the other side of the world, which are legacy kind of things, which are long-time manufacturings or organizations, they are still in the adaptive phase of it, right? Now, all of us have thought about this theme is about what? Ahead of algorithms, right? So everyone would think this algorithms is playing a key role to give all of this. Today, whatever we buy, see, all recommendations comes, right? Whenever you go to Google or do some search, you'll set a lot of recommendation comes in. Now, this is something which you see that at the back of all of our mind, algorithm is doing it. The way the stage is going, if it goes in this way, a day will be not there far when algorithms is going to manage each one of us. We'll be sitting and following algorithm, right? So, and that's where we're talking about factory of the futures or those things autonomous, but where we have to see this algorithms as one of the actor in it. It is not the one who is actually influencing it. When we see this, or when we see what Dinesh said that in his, and Cecil from an AI perspective, they play a role or enabler only. But we would need to see a 360-degree view of a part. There are multiple actors which comes in, where you have domain as one more actor. The second actor is to understand the design of your systems and processes. Third is need to understand the data, because there's a lot of data getting generated out of it. Many systems, many other things, PLMs, your sensors, we know all of them, robotics coming into play. All this coming into and generating a set of data together. Now, and setting up a context of this data is very important, because without that, your AI cannot do. More than that, what it is, when you combine all this, allow the AI what you want it to do, not what AI wanted to do. That's where we have to go through it. And once you do that, the AI makes decision based on us and then gives the feedback back to the source. Now this entire, if you see 4 or 5 personas coming into play into it, and that to bring it where we as a human, from a skill perspective, we need to get into that stage. Because today what we see is every one of us wants to learn AI, algorithm, that's all. Everyone want to go only for there. But there is this 5 or 6 actors which are available, basis on which we can control them and where we make agents work for us. That is where this, we have to adapt towards that. And that's what I wanted to show through this video, where we have built towards a 100% autonomous production line, where human, you can say that autonomous means no human is required. But here, there is a human in the loop, at least 2 or 3 guys who have to make sure that things are going fine and the way it is going on, and they give the inputs to it. That's how we can say that in going future, because a lot of us are in the impression that AI comes in, we'll lose our jobs. It has low code, no code, and fast automatic code as can happen. Yes, it can do. But who is going to give the emotions to it? Who is going to give the energy to it or the domain to it? It is we. And that's where we have to go along with it. The guys who are already in the potential laterals working in the organizations, they have to scale up them towards that. The students who are here, they have to scale up across all this technology skill set, which most of the colleges are trying to operate with help of many of these OEMs. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I'll come back to you. Now over to the last but not the least, Dev Agarwal from IBM. Please.
Thank you, Dipankar. So, good afternoon all. Before I ask or say something, I just want to poll how many of you are students here in the audience? Can you raise your hands? Students from any streams? How many of your faculties? Few faculties are there. Industry, professionals, people who are working. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to gauge a mixed audience. Thank you. Yeah, mostly students. Yes. Just wanted to say that technology is now becoming, I mean, algorithms is not just about technology. It is actually making decisions for us on a daily basis. How many of you have profiles on LinkedIn or intend to have profiles on LinkedIn? Okay, I think all of you should have if you don't have still. Would you know that there is an algorithm which perhaps is running to select your profile if you're applying for a job? We may think that it is not affecting our daily life in such a small way, but it is actually. It is making decisions for us where we do not even know that it is impacting our life. Your next decision to travel may be impacted by some ads or something which you might have done in your digital world, and somebody is affecting your decision where to travel, when to travel. So it is very ubiquitous and it is affecting daily in our lives. That is one. Second part I want to touch is that technology is also now deciding which nations are leading, which economies are leading. If you see certain economies which have make the progress already, like US for example, or China and even India, they are at the forefront of making these decisions or leading these economies or leading in the technology area. So I would say the impact of technologies from a personal to a country level, it's not been before, the impact has not been such at huge level. Last but not the least, I'd say at the personal level, your skills which were relevant in the past are still relevant, I would say. I would partially differ with Cecil here. I think your skills of making relationships, your skills of having negotiation skills, your skills of problem solving, they are still very, very relevant. And I don't think those skills are going to go away anytime soon. Maybe you have an agent of yourself, you have an agent, somebody else has an agent of themselves. Maybe the agents conflict, but ultimately it is the human to human which will be, resolving things. That's what I feel. So your personal behavioral, like Dipankar said in the beginning, human skills are still going to be very, very relevant. And that's how you're going to ace this algorithm-led digital economy. Thank you.
Great. So that brings us to, to close to the first part of this discussion. So as promised earlier, so I have a few, questions for each of the esteemed panelists. So if, with the permission of the panel, can I go in the reverse order now? Okay. So maybe I'll start with Dev. I looked at, your profile, and this is what I thought I should ask you. What were the strategies deployed in effective adoption of IBM technology to develop skilled talent for the industry in the changing job role environment? And since you are closely involved in this biggest skilling program of the state of Tamil Nadu, the non-Mudal one, and also you were involved in a program prior to that. So, maybe if you can highlight your successes and learnings from that program.
Thank you. So, I'm part of a team called Career Education within IBM, and we partnered with Tamil Nadu government, TNSDC department, like Dipankar said earlier. I can tell you by a lot of confidence that such a department, the efficiency and the way the department works is hard to see in any other state. The program implementation of this department at such large level, students running into lakhs of students, arts and science, engineering, it's just magnificent actually, if you ask me. The way we were involved with the department was that we had created a project-based learning program for the engineering students of Anna University. I'm not sure how many of you are from that university. And we had given some problem statements from the real world, and those problem statements were to be solved by the students by making a team of 3 or 4. And these were solved by the students in the group of team, like I said, and it was a 70 to 80 hours program, wherein we asked the students to submit certain documents and code for us, and solve the problem. Now, some of the learnings from that was that apart from we teaching the students, and this is why I'm saying the human skills or being on the ground, we found that the students were asking questions only after 6 p.m. They were not asking questions before 6 p.m. Now, that's very interesting that why are students not asking questions before 6 p.m.? Because they were in the college. The only time they would sit on the project is after 6 p.m. and the questions will go up to 12 p.m., 1 a.m. in the night. And students question, why is somebody not replying to that question now? I need an answer because I'm working on the project. So that's the kind of, being grounded, and you could have a chatbot also to sort of reply those queries, and we ultimately did that. But what I'm trying to say is that the ground reality was very, very different from what we thought that we would start the program. The second learning was that we thought English, everybody knew English. Not that people don't know English. It's just that people were more comfortable understanding in a mix of Tamil and English as a language. They were more comfortable in executing the project, when it was a mix of the language. So that was a learning for us. Third was the girl child, the women in the teams. They were more comfortable when a mentor was a woman. Very interesting, right? I mean, you would think that now it is not the case that, students will answer to anybody, but we had to break the ice with female mentors taking these, sessions for the students, AMA sessions and things like that. So these are some of the ground realities which we realized that they cannot be done by any, chatbot, or they cannot be overcome by any algorithm or anything. So this is very relevant to the topic which we are here, that you have to have the human touch to whatever you do. Technology can only be an enabler for you to reach to thousands and your audience or whatever it is. But if you do not have that connect, I think the success will be very, very elusive. The result of all these steps was that the passing grade or the completion rate or the kind of quality of the projects which we got was very good. So I just wanted to highlight these points upon the non-Mudalvan programs we just did. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Very good insights, I must say, because I was also personally involved and currently involved in the program. So very good, interesting insights. So let me move on to Rex. My question to you is, in your sector, how are you helping organization in their journey of digital transformation? Okay, and if you can give any example, that will be great.
Sure. So how do because we come from a service integrator perspective, right? So helping different customers on their journey of transformation. We see customers coming across the layers who are just starting their journey. There are some customers who are a bit in maturity. They are almost brownfield kind of a customers. And some are already in the journey on the digital transformation. So one, we look into the view of what is the vision of the customer, right? Because many of the time what happens is everyone wants to do automation. So first of all, what we try to educate them is that understand what is your vision, because that vision percolates to the lowest level. Otherwise, what happens is each one of us starts doing in pockets on automation and everything, but end of the day, we land up to see that there is digital everywhere, and that itself becomes an overhead for us from a operational excellence point of view. So that's the first thing which we try to bring in. Second is try to connect to the right set of stakeholders, which is a business, because the stakeholders are business, not the IT guys like us, right? IT guys will come and do the technology and everything. But end of the day, the business is who drives the business from a outcome perspective, and they are the one who through which we generate the entire revenue. So it's a key stakeholder. What do they want? And that is very critical piece of it through which we drive this entire transformation for the customers. Now, some of them would, the entire transformation, if you want to do, it becomes a huge capex cost for us. because you want to go and transform the entire production lines or industry, it's very difficult for us. So that's the third approach which we take on how they can make an ROI by investing in their low-hanging fruits, and then over a period of time, they start putting up the efforts on the other side of the world. Because tomorrow you go and change the entire sensors, or you want to go and fit in, it's huge cost, right? Like if you go to start with the small scale industries, it's very difficult for them. So that's the third approach which we take. And the fourth and most important thing which we try to drive it is how you start small and make it bigger. That's very important for us, because everyone wants to invest, but then end of the day they find out that, I have invested X dollars, but I have not got anything. So hence it makes an importance for us to first to understand that if I invest on this, on those things, what does it going to give me? Once you have that comfort, then business themselves starts investing and picking up this, because this is a journey which we in L&T itself have seen it. When we started 5 to 6 years back, we started small. And today, if you see, the entire thing is almost digitized and monitored by our CEO sitting in his office. He understands what is happening to each of those projects, critical projects. He monitors himself. And that's why we are able to deliver many of the things on time. That's how it starts. So that's the way we start doing this. Now, while we do, this is a part of an organization perspective. The second part of it is how the skills, I think there was a second question which about how policymakers and all thing comes in.
I'll come back to you on that.
Okay.
Okay. Since we have about 18 minutes, and then I want to give some chance to the audience. So over to you, Dinesh. I think I'm going to slightly change the question which I had originally thought. As I was talking to you over lunch, I realized that technology has played a very, very critical role in the success of your organization. So I would like you to, enlighten the audience on the role of technology as an enabler in the success of, in your, I would say, product.
Sure.
And any learnings.
100%. So we are a very different kind of startup. So because it's taken us about 7 years to even get to revenue, right? So we've had a very long gestation period to kind of get here. We're in a typical startup definition, we're about 150 people. So we're not exactly small per se, but we're in a space where it's just not physically possible for us to not get some of these tools like an ERP or an MES, before we kind of start rolling out vehicles itself, right? But on the other side, the challenge is for a company like, let's say, what Rex showed us with the L&T tool, we've used something like that. But the problem is, if I were to go to L&T, again, with all due respect, right? Like, if I were to go to L&T as a startup, I just simply cannot afford a tool like that, right? And that goes all the way, right from program, even something as fundamental as Jira. I don't know how many of you guys even have experience operating with Jira, but even Jira, right? Implementing Jira in a company like ours costs like a couple of lakhs every month, which is simply something that I cannot afford. I see somebody who's very, very well relating to that, right? So that is the other bigger challenge, right? I have people who are open to adopting tech. I have people who are digitally native, but I simply cannot afford some of these tools. But today, fortunately for us, what we've been able to do, about 2.5 years ago, without my knowledge or any of my co-founders' knowledge, there was a small team that kind of propped up inside our office, which started working on tools that the company wanted to use or company needed to use. Today, what we have is an internal system that's from PLM to ERP, to inventory storage, to accounts, to manufacturing execution system. I'm sorry, I'm using too many jargon, but essentially product lifecycle management, enterprise resource planning, accounts, inventory planning, testing, and manufacturing execution, and then finally DMS, dealer management system, where the vehicle actually goes to the customer. The entire platform is now in-house, which we're now started licensing out to other OEMs, right? So this is something that the system believed that it needed. When I mean the system, I mean the company itself, and the team started working on something. So these are also some of the challenges, but what I'd like to kind of bring out with this point is something very similar to what Rex just mentioned, right? If I were to kind of break it down in very simple terms, and I'm guessing most of the students here are Tamil, so I'll kind of, to at least, break it down even further. I keep getting, resumes saying, நான் இந்த மாடியூல் எஸ்ஏபியில் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், இந்த மாடியூல் இதில் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், ஜோஹோவில் எனக்கு இது தெரியும், ஜோஹோவில் இந்த கோர்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், I've got this certification. But the point here is, he or she only knows that thing and exactly what that tutorial has told them, and they want to stick around just doing that one module, which doesn't make any sense to at least a company like me. And I'm assuming that 2-3 years down the line, whatever Cecil mentioned, right, like where AI is probably going to do that for you. So if there is a tutorial already, then to kind of implement that onto the customer is going to be very, very easy for AI to do that. The logic here is, how do you find out that this is not something that the company can afford? This is not something that the company is going to be able to implement because of different reasons. And how do you stay agile and say, okay, I know what SAP does, இதுதான் நான் எஸ்ஏபியில் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன், பட் அது எஸ்ஏபி இல்லாமல் என்னால் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண முடியுமா, இல்லை அதே காம்பனண்ட்டை with that can I implement it better than just getting an implementation agency or a third party reseller to kind of do it? I think that's essentially where I believe especially the Indian talent can add value compared to everywhere else. We already have modules, you already have courses, you have tutorials, you have amazing set of tools, but how do you kind of make it work at the ground level, I think is where we can add value, especially as a services kind of country. I don't know if that made sense.
Yes, I think you mentioned some very pertinent points as to effective deployment and adoption of technology is also very, very important. So let me now quickly move over to, sorry for the long wait, but, you have been working in the US sector. I looked at your profile, man. So, any challenges in implementation of AI and cloud strategies that you are offering in this market? And also, if time permits, you can also give your thoughts on utilizing digital technology for women and children, because I found that very interesting on your profile.
Thank you. And before I answer that question, I completely agree with your statement in terms of human ingenuity, right? I don't think we can even take that thing as granted. Just because technology is there, human ingenuity is lost. I assume that because we are human beings, we have the emotions, we have the empathy, and leadership is not something that anybody is going to tell you. There's no AI is going to teach you empathy. No AI is going to teach you how to take care of your people. So I, first of all, completely agree with that. The entire premise on skill is based on you, first of all, being a human being, right? If not, we are not talking about that. But here is where I come from. When I look at all the students here, when I look at different segments of professionals and entrepreneurs, the real problem is not skilling in technology. If you ask me, what do you want myself to be skilled as a student, I'll tell, go think about RAG, go think about fine tuning, think about MCP protocol, think about A2A protocol, all these things. Does it make even remote sense to me as a person? Probably not at this point, right? Because we have seen the industry, how fast and rapidly it's evolving. From AI, we are going to see AGI, we are going to see ASI. Is there even an option for you guys not to learn it, is my point. There's no option left on the table except you being so married to the technology. You are going to live with it. You're going to breathe. Like you mentioned, it's going to come through and through in your life. As a parent, as a student, as an entrepreneur, I'm happy to hear you're able to monetize what you built inside. That's a great kudos to you and your team. So that is how we should think about. When there is going to be a shift in the industry, I'll talk about the cloud and AI in a bit, because it's very important for me to address what is sensitive. What is going to happen is there is going to be a phenomenal shift in the sector we're talking about, services sector. phenomenal sector. I talked about it earlier too. But then how can we upskill so we can capture those opportunities that is shaping up in the world? Number one, if you have an idea, use the technology to do the startup and engineering and all those things. That's phenomenal work you can do. World is your market. You got to be fearless, risk taking and all those stuff. That's also a skill. That's also a learnable skill compared to, when you think about your peers. The other one is, how can we adapt to these emerging technologies and skill ourselves really, really fast in this area where the job opportunities are going to be large and high paying jobs are going to be there. So that means you need to start thinking about AI technologies that you need to learn. And then the third option is research in AI. That is domain specific skill you have to think about, right? These are three. But the point to coming back to the actual question is, do we have challenges in implementing or delivering cloud and AI services? No. The demand is humongous. This is an opportunity we cannot address in terms of capacity, energy, and resources. It's not about we have challenges. The challenges is the other way around. The demand is more, the supply in terms of GPUs and capacity is so less, and we have to accelerate things. That's number one. I just want to address that. The other thing is women and child empowerment. What we are talking about is the government has taken a huge leap forward. I'm glad to see my friend, Sri Lankan High Commissioner is also sitting here, very passionately working for his country. How do we upskill the community and the students and the entrepreneurs? The idea is very simple. Number one, lead with a vision. Number two, these technologies are commodity. Bring it with the partnership with anyone that you can think about, and then create this entrepreneurship, especially for women, right? If the child is not learning AI, for especially starting from kindergarten, I would tell, right? That means we are likely to miss certain opportunities, because earlier we have the have and have nots. Very quickly I want to address that. Now the technology is very, very similar to everybody. So you should be able to talk to that. Empower women to achieve their potential using the technology to create products and services. If one woman picks up a job and entrepreneurship role, you have a generational changes, and men are not like that. So I'll just stop at that.
Yeah, thanks, Cecil. Sorry to hurry you up. We have about 7 minutes, so we'll try to end on time, maybe 1 or 2 minutes extra. So I want to open the floor for a Q&A. We'll take 2 questions. 2 or max 3 questions, yes. Please raise your hand and introduce yourself quickly, and question, be brief and specific.
Okay, can I come forward?
Yeah, you go ahead. You can speak from there.
Okay, sir. My first question is to Sundar, sir. So, sir, you have been working as in the Microsoft's AI in Cloud Director, right? For the past 6 months. I think you started as in July 2025. I follow you on LinkedIn, sir, so I know your profile. So, what do you think the current developments that you are making at Microsoft that students should know, or any kind of insider information that students community must know that regarding the AI and cloud technology?
Yeah, I'll quickly address it. By the way, I'm in Microsoft in the cloud and AI for last 10 years. I continue to get shifted to different areas. But here is what you need to learn. It doesn't matter whether it is Microsoft, GCP, or IBM, web technology agnostic. You should learn agentic stuff. You should learn A2A, MCP protocol. These are the future if you are an engineer, right? If you're not on engineering side, and if let's say you're mechanical or robotics or anything, biotech, use these technologies to create a prototype, proof of concept, product and services, right? One, you can study and develop technologies as a service, right? Or build a product using this technology. There's no other option from my side. Okay.
My second question is to Dinesh, sir.
Hello. So sorry, can we give opportunity? I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you, but I want to give opportunity to other people. Yes.
I have a question related to that. Sir said startups are going for ERP or anything. The tools needed means they are going for other startups or they are creating tools themselves. I'll tell you a little story that will take away only 30 seconds. My friend is running a clinic which is related to hearing aids. He has more than 4 branches. So he has tried to go for Zoho for CRM, but he's not able to afford that. So he gone for the other startup that provided it. What I am having a question is, they are going for customized things. Now AI came in, now everyone needs customized software for them. And it is easily able to produce a software with the help of AI because it takes very less time. I'm having a question, which is I'm working in a
Kindly give the question.
Sorry. I have been working in Fortune 500 company, and also I have been using Azure DevOps, and Dynamics 365 is there. But everything is in industrial standard, not specific to the domain. Because I am in a logistic domain, if the Microsoft provided related to logistic domain means it will be helpful because it is common. The logistic domain we have to make other big thing. Is it possible for Microsoft, or is there any roles or upcoming there to provide to create a customized tools for big organizations for each organization? And I am having a question. Other question is which is there any possible? No, not other question. Continuation of this question is sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. We are running short of time.
Okay. Is
Maybe
there
I'll
any
hand over the mic to Cecil.
Yeah.
To get
Is
his
there any
thoughts.
possible to you guys are bringing any new roles which is able to provide fast pace software or tools providing to industries that will be helpful for us? And I also need to know what is the big thing going on the quantum in IBM also. So we will be able to upskill ourselves for that. That's all from my side.
Diversity,
Sorry.
let's start with quantum and IBM
Yeah.
and then see where they are. Okay.
I think with the quantum, I think we launched it 3 to 4 years back, if I'm not wrong. And it's still at the very enterprise level stage. There are still use cases at the retail space where we are still finding it out. But at a government level, I think there's a lot of progress. Your neighboring state has already opened up a quantum, I think, center, if I'm not wrong. And I'm sure Tamil Nadu is also thinking on the similar lines. But that's one space to be in. If I can just take 30 seconds, think of any advancement of AI as a 4-layer. The first is the power, the electricity, if I may say so. The second is the infrastructure, the GPU and the other compute thing. Third is the LLMs or the models. The fourth is the application layer. So think of quantum is in terms of the infrastructure layer where things will be enabled for AI and other technologies to be sort of producing results the way we would want. Like Cecil said, there is a lot of demand on the infrastructure side. And infrastructure is not just limited to the GPU side. There is a layer below that. There is a power layer. You need a lot of electricity to run these infrastructure. I'm not sure if you're following that there are large data centers which are coming up from a lot of companies, and they require a humongous amount of power to run those, right? So the infrastructure actually is 2-layer. One is the power, second is the compute. So think of quantum in the infrastructure part where it will enable a lot of things in the coming time. Yeah, sorry, Cecil. Go ahead.
That's, I can take it offline with you, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. But overall, we have agentic framework, and I don't want it to be Microsoft specific. It's not about promoting that. But the idea is to think about agentic framework, multi-agentic, when you move through different systems and understand how it operates. So we have autogen framework. So think about that way, how the multi-agentic orchestration helps you to seamlessly connect across processes, right? And then build an application through the stack the friend talked about. We'll take it offline. Okay.
Just to clarify, just as a point, so I said these tools might not make sense for a startup, doesn't mean they don't make sense at all, right? They exist for a reason, they have clients. But what I was kind of directing towards is today, even a large part of the services industry still works on implementation of products that are not largely Indian, right? If you take SAP or if you take GCP, whatever, right? But I think there's a clear value add that the Indian ecosystem can provide from a product point of view. In fact, NASSCOM has been pushing that as product first economy moving forward. So that's what, so I'm not saying that these tools don't make sense for any company. They've obviously been built for large companies with their frameworks in mind. For a startup, it doesn't make immediate sense. So that's why we're looking at other alternatives. It doesn't mean everybody should be looking for other alternatives.
Can I take 5 more minutes? Any organizer here? Huh? We are okay? 5 to 7 more minutes. So I will take one more question from the audience. You can use this mic.
My questions to Rex, what kind of skill sets are non-negotiable for the current workforce?
Last question and there's a wrap up.
Okay.
We'll take 5 minutes.
See, non-negotiable is a fundamental skills which we always have the foundation of it, right? Anything. Because if you are going for a digital kind of a thing, because there's plethora of technologies available, right? Now, you need to pick up, you cannot be a jack of all also at the same time. As per what we are in the leadership growing in it, basis on that role, you should be able to, for example, if a 5 years or 10 years kind of a guy should at least understand the end-to-end thing. But the first is a fundamental hands-on understanding is very important. Chat GPTs are there, everything is there, I know that. You know, one of the IIT guys, I'd asked him to do something, a simple task to create a shortcut. He just goes and puts in the chat GPT and asks it how to create a thing. So if you are going to go around that, then it's going to be difficult. So you fundamentally now, please do hands-on rather than going and using ChatGPT. As every one of us said, it is just an enabler. Use it as an enabler for us and use a fundamental hands-on. That's very important for all the students here. I know all of you are using ChatGPTs, even my son uses it. That's why I can tell you guys, please stop using ChatGPTs and put your hands-on. It's very important for us.
Yeah, thanks, Rex. I think we'll not take more than, I think there's a next panel. So I will do a quick wrap up. Maybe we'll start with Cecil, not more than 30 seconds per panelist on your final thoughts on this topic. 30 seconds strictly, please.
Yeah, so immediately what I would tell is, don't worry about technology. Technology is always going to be an enabler. It's going to continue to evolve and change faster. The idea is to learn a specific domain and use the technology to create products or create an opportunity for yourself. Be prepared for a massive change. It's not going to be an incremental change. So get ahead of, along with algorithm, get ahead of the trend. So thank you.
I think I did it, but important for all of us is to, I just gave the summary last time also, move out of, don't rely on chat GPTs, please do your hands-on and learning. And importantly for students, please start attending internships kind of a thing from the beginning of the year, because what industry is looking is not just word or theoretical knowledge, it's a practical knowledge. So try to do as much as practical as possible.
Yeah, I think just do what you want to do. Don't do something because somebody else is asking you to do. If you're learning a tool, you learn it because you're interested in it. If not, you're just learning something randomly for that moment, and that's not going to be of any use. I think that's the only line I'd like to add.
Thank you. I'll just build on that. Find a good problem statement to solve. I think that should be your starting point. Use technology as an enabler and then try and solve it. Don't start with technology and then try and find a problem. Start the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just wrap up the panel with 3 words. I think technology, skilling, and adaptation. I think these are the 3 the key words as an outcome of this panel discussion. With this, we formally conclude this panel discussion. Sorry we overrun on the time, and I would like to thank all my esteemed panelists for their valued thoughts and perspectives. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipankar.
Well, kindly give us a moment, because we would love to honor you, and a very heartfelt gratitude to our panel and to our moderator for powerful perspectives. Please give them a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It is very clear that while algorithm drive the world, it is the skilled human capital that will lead it. Congratulations and thank you very much. I would like to request Mrs. Ilavarasi, our Deputy Collector, Tamil Nadu E-Governance Agency, to kindly come up on the stage and to honor our panelist and our moderator, please. If you have further doubts, questions for our panel, we can take it off stage. They're going to be with us for some more time. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to shift gears and change the theme into something that we all